Hello. Okay, so I just tried to go live with this. I'm going to bring my mic closer. And three things simultaneously happened. As I went live, I realized my mic was not on. I also spilt water all over myself and my bed, and Facebook zoomed up on my face. So it was just a hot mess. There was a lot of things that went wrong at once, but I'm back, and it looks like I have solved my personal issues with this. So let's do it. Let's go live. So welcome back to another episode. I'm calling them episodes of Mermaids and Sacred Business. So I've been coming on Mondays at around 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in our Facebook group, Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon, to talk about everything from mermaid starseed magic, the priestess path to sacred business. If you are seeing this on YouTube or IGTV, welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, let's get into today's topic, which is four reasons why you might not be experiencing direct communication from your spirit guides and angels. I can't count the number of times that my friends or my clients have asked me to tune in for them. So, I have been working with my own spirit guides and angels and communicating with guides and angels for many years now, about 10 years. It's been a big part of my life. And yeah, it's like people sort of think that it's maybe like this special ability, and they will sometimes come to me and ask me to tune in for them and ask like, what their guides and angels are saying to them. And while, yeah, I'll work with people's spirit guides and angels in sessions and coaching sessions, what this question sometimes tells me and indicates to me is that people can feel disempowered around their own ability to connect with the spirit realms and the guidance that is coming from their spirit team. But it's something that's actually available to all of us, but it's something that has not been taught to us unless you were one of the lucky beings who were raised with very conscious parents who were teaching you from a young age how to connect. So, what I wanted to do today, I actually almost didn't come live because I'm on my period and I was just like, oh, but I wanted to come live. I decided I want to come live. And I wanted to tell you some things, okay? So, these are going to be four sort of reasons why people are coming to me, right? And asking me these things. Beth, tune in for me. I can't get the messages. You can, and here are some things that you might want to change if you want to have that direct communication. Before I go into them, I'll, chat briefly about why would you want to have that direct communication. A million different reasons. It's like having the best oracle card deck ever in your brain and your heart all the time that gives you very specific oracle card messages exactly for your life. So you can apply this, when you're working with your guides and angels to your career, your business, your relationships, your health, what kind of foods you're, wanting to eat, where you want to live, where you should travel to or not travel to, all these kinds of things, what you should be putting into your body. So, all right, without further ado, let's talk about the biggest, well, I shouldn't say the biggest, but I really feel like this is one of the biggest reasons. Number one, why you might not be getting messages from your guides and angels consistently in a way that you can understand. Well, it's this whole instant gratification thing that our society has trained us into. So, I'll give you an example. This is a way that you can connect with your guides and angels. You can come into your heart, breathing into your heart, and you can call your spirit guides and angels forth. It's best to do this after you've already meditated or you've had a gratitude session so you're a little bit more centered. But you can do this at any time, especially if you're well practiced, and you can ask spirit guides and angels, what would you have me hear now? And you would keep the awareness in your heart, not your third eye like a lot of people teach. I teach going into your heart and just hanging out in your heart and waiting. And what people will do when they do this process or a similar process is they will get really frustrated if they're not getting anything right away. There's these ideas that will come up like, I can't do this, this isn't working, they're not talking to me, I'm flawed in some way, what are they saying, is that my ego? We'll get really into the mind, we'll go from the heart to the mind. And what I want people to understand is that once when you ask your spirit guides and angels for guidance, they will always come through, and they'll come through in the channels that are going to be easiest and best for you. So if the channel of your heart, there's a lot of mental chatter, you're not sure if you can get the messages, you're kind of feeling, I don't know, they're going to still come through, but they might arrange for you to bump into a friend later on that day who tells you a piece of information you might really need to know. They might arrange to come into your dream time that night and download some guidance to your system that you start operating with and you don't even know it was them. They might direct you to have like an intuitive hit when you're just washing the dishes and you've kind of got over your own resistance and you're just kind of more in a flow. And you might get the hit, oh, I'm going to pick up that book. I forgot that I had that. And you open the book later and it's like that direct piece of guidance that you needed to know. So that number one sort of block in this four kind of reasons why you're not receiving is because, you'll drop in and rather than just waiting and doing nothing and just being patient, and maybe sometimes you'll get something and sometimes you won't, and that's all cool and that's all chill, and whatever you get that day is whatever you're meant to get that day. Again, we'll go into the mind, we'll get frustrated, we'll make up these stories, and we'll just be like, I need the direct guidance, the trumpets, the angels to blast something in my ear that's going to change my life right now, and if not, it's not real guidance. So a good kind of policy is just like do nothing. Drop in your heart, ask, and do nothing, and trust that the guidance is coming through. So that's really important. The second reason why people often aren't getting direct messages from their guides and angels is kind of an obvious one that a lot of people miss, is because they're not asking. They're not asking for guidance. They're thinking, oh yeah, well, angels are around me and Mary Magdalene's cool. And, maybe once every 2 weeks I'll ask them, hey guys, what's up? Like, do you have any guidance for me? But if you're serious about receiving messages, guidance, support from your spirit guides and angels in a way that's actually going to transform your life in a really beautiful way, you're going to want to ask, and you're going to want to ask a lot. Okay? So, you can ask throughout the day, 10 times a day. I call upon my spirit guides and angels. Thank you for coming to support me. Thank you for delivering any messages that I need to hear today. So why don't we do a repeat after me? So we're going to all ask together. So you can just drop into your heart. You can put your hands on your heart if you want. Take a deep breath, and you can just repeat after me. Spirit guides and angels of divine light, I call upon you now. I ask for your guidance and assistance today. Thank you for helping me to connect with my higher self's wisdom. Thank you for aligning me with my soul's mission. And I give you permission, coming in divine light and in the name of God, to intervene in my thoughts today, to help guide my thoughts so that they are aligned with the will of my higher self and the will of the divine. Thank you, and so it is. So opening your eyes, Kim says, true, I met Angel, if you wrote Michael, I call Archangel Michael Michael, so maybe that's who you mean. And Hanael, I did not know them, but only after asking. Yeah, you have to ask, because we live in a universe of free will, and not all beings honor this sort of law of free will, but absolutely light beings do. So you want to ask for guidance, and when you're asking for guidance, especially if you're new, you're going to want to ask your guides and angels to step forth who are of divine light. So we want to make sure that we're asking only beings who are coming from the heart of the divine. So in that repeat after me, I use the word God, but you can also substitute with source, divine, love, etc., goddess, whatever works for you, Sophia. So we want to ask, and you can ask wherever you are. You don't have to be in meditation. You can just ask, say, Archangel Michael, can you, Please, help me grocery shopping, find the right foods for me. I call my guides and angels to support me today, align me with my soul's mission, etc. Kim says, no, Michael and Haniel, they are guardian angels. It's amazing. They're, yeah, way more angels than the ones we all know. Absolutely. I think there's probably billions and billions, and if not trillions of angels. So that's a great point. So, yeah, let's keep going on. Let me just feeling into if there's anything else that wants to come through around that. Yeah, if you're live, let me know if you're live because I'd love to, or if you're on replay, let me know if you're here and if you're interested in working with your spirit guides and angels. I do want to mention, of course, that I have a 4-week journey that's going to be starting next week, next Tuesday, December 1st, that is called Meet Your Guides and Angels, and we're going to go really, really deep, really, really deep into this, like so deep. It's going to be so amazing. So if you are interested in hearing more from your guides and angels, you can check out the link to that in the description of this video. But if you're live and on replay, just let me know how you're feeling, how your connection with your guides and angels is right now. Non-existent, super amazing, somewhere in between. Shannon says, I've been off. Shannon, do you mean like you're feeling off, or you're feeling off in your connection to your guides and angels? I'd love to know. So, all right, let's go to number 3. Number 1 was, that frustration. Nothing's coming through, not realizing that actually a lot's coming through, just not the way that your mind wants it to. Number 2 is we're not asking, and we're not asking enough. That's really, really important because, again, the angels honor free will, guides honor free will. Beings of divine light honor free will, so they're only going to come and they're only going to show up and they're only going to intervene if you ask them to. That's why I just mentioned that it's great if you call beings of divine light in, so you know that whoever is, working with you is totally in alignment with your higher self. Because all of these guides and all of these angels, their real sort of intention and their real purpose of being in your life is to actually align you with your own higher self's wisdom, with your own source energy's wisdom. So they're really just helping mentor us into our greatness, into our mastery, into our angelic mission. So let's go to number 3, food. Food, what we're putting in our bodies. This can be something that people really don't think about. I spoke about this recently in our longer workshop and ceremony around this. So food can really either support our connection with our spiritual guidance or really throw it off. And I'm pretty sure you know this 100%, right? The difference between how you feel, after eating a processed candy bar versus how you feel after you have a green juice is usually night and day. We tend to think about our mental health or our physical health when we're talking about the foods that we're putting into our body. But of course, our spiritual health and our spiritual connection is really important as well. So certain foods to watch out for that will likely alter your nervous system and alter your cells and your chakras a little bit so they're less open to the divine realms to really download directly. And this is not a bad thing. It's not like it's scary. It's not like anything is shut down permanently. Not at all. It's just, in the moment to moment, your daily life, we want to keep things as open as possible with our daily choices. So, things like processed sugar, white sugar, too much caffeine. Dairy is a big culprit, guys. Dairy is mucus forming, not just in the physical body, but in the energetic bodies as well. It's not that you can't have dairy. It's that you need to be really mindful of how it sits and lands in your body. And if most people who eat dairy are honest with themselves, they will admit to themselves, if they're really honest, that dairy tends to make them feel weighted down in some way. So this isn't just your body, this is your actual energetic. I found this out 10 years ago when I started doing intuitive readings. I could literally see energetic mucus in someone's aura as a result of too much dairy. And this actually blocks it doesn't block in that final way, like I said, but it does make it a lot more difficult to feel that clear crystalline connection to guides and angels. Everybody is different. So you're going to have to sit with yourself and tune in with yourself and go, if you are eating dairy, Is this serving me? Is this not serving me? Especially if it's factory farmed. Anything factory farmed, any factory farmed meat, any factory farmed dairy. This is from animals that are, go watch the videos if you haven't already. It's absolutely traumatic. So I watched them, once, then I, made my choices about my life, and I try not to watch them anymore, about what actually happens to animals in these places, how they're raised and how they're killed. We do not want to be putting that energy in our body. This is going to really affect our own connection with receiving our own guidance. And of course, it also impacts other beings as well. Oh, I have all these comments coming through that I didn't even see. I'll get to them in 1 second. Sorry about that. So this is factory farmed stuff. So I'm not telling you, okay, everybody needs to be vegan to hear their guides and angels. That's going to be a personal choice. Personally, I'm vegan, but I understand that different things work for different people at different times in their life. My mother, who is incredibly in tune with her own guides and angels, does eat meat and does eat dairy, but it needs to be local, organic, as the best kind of meat and dairy that you could possibly get if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna go that route, or hunted in the most sacred manner. And there's been a lot of people who have also channeled that a lot of the guidance from these realms is to just actually start to release it from our diet more and more and more, because it's not what we'll be consuming later on in our journey of ascension. So that's just something that you can sit with. And processed food, chemicals, you're smart and intuitive, right? So it's like, okay, what if it brings my physical body down, it's going to bring my connection to my spirit guides and angels sort of down as well. Not actually, they're always there for you, but in terms of your ability to really be clear and to hear. So Kitty's here, loving some nice emojis. Shannon said, I was so connected and I feel like I lost it. Yeah, just witnessing you there. That's actually kind of a normal part of the journey. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But, hopefully we can allow that connection to start to slowly come back. Kim says, they were giggling when you said their names wrong. They love us all so much. Yeah, Shannon says, with my connections. Yeah. Kitty says, I've been loving your pillar meditation. Yeah, doing it every day. Awesome. I'm actually going to mention that meditation in a second here. Sad Curtain says, dairy clogs me up. Yeah, like most people, I think. Kitty says, I like grounding with small amounts of dairy. Yeah, like I said, different things work for different people. You just got to be really, mindful of where animal products are coming from, because eating factory farm foods is not grounding for anybody, no matter what they say. That's a nice thought, but it's actually not the reality. But well-treated animals, well-treated dairy as best as possible. You got to feel into if that's going to work for you. And like I said, that's my mother's personal choice, who I love dearly, who's very spiritual. So everybody's got their different choices, but we want to really make sure we're tuning into where our food is coming from big time, because it affects a lot. So the fourth, and just to mention, by the way, if there's any shame coming up around that, if you have been eating some of these foods, you actually can work with your spirit guides and angels to help transmute any shame that you might be feeling, because this discussion isn't about, oh, you're wrong or you're bad because you've been eating factory farmed food. It's not like that at all. It's about, all right, let us connect in with our hearts and our higher selves to just feel into what the best choices for us are now and as we move forward. And we always forgive ourselves. We always have patience for ourselves. And we always have an open mind and an open heart as best as we can when it comes to our self-talk. So Kim says, I do eat meat, but always organic. My uncle was organic farmer. Yeah, so everybody's going to have their own guidance that's going to come through, and we just want to really pay attention to that, right? So the fourth thing is lack of boundaries, okay? So this is the fourth reason why we might not be getting, the guidance super clearly. If you've got, so pretty much everybody who's watching this, I can guarantee, is like a sensitive being. Like, raise your hand so I can energetically see you in my light body if you're a very sensitive being, right? One of the reasons why food is important for us, because we're really sensitive. So, but we're also, of course, as you know, energetically sensitive. So, if we don't know how to create boundaries around our aura and we don't know how to energetically cleanse our aura, we don't have energetic hygiene practices, what's going to happen in our auras and our energy fields is there's going to be a lot of other stuff. There's going to be static. There's going to be other people's energies. We're going to go on social media and are just going to be inundated, and there's just going to be so much in our energy fields. And so when we try to tune in, I'm seeing the hands coming up. Yeah, sensitive, right? So when we try to tune in, I'm going to put my hair up. I feel like a little bit greasy today. I'm not gonna lie, with my period and just being like, bleh. So I'm just gonna like have a little self-care moment of like, I'm gonna put my hair up. When we try to tune in when we've got all this stuff in our fields, you know, it's gonna be tricky because we're gonna be like, we're gonna think that we're getting stuff from our guides and angels, but it's gonna be like weird. I'm like, oh, that didn't make me feel very good. What's that? I don't know, but when I tune in, I feel it. So we've got to have our energetic hygiene practices. So I've left in the description of this video, unless you're watching on IGTV, I'll probably put this on IGTV. So if you're watching there, you can just YouTube it. I've left in the description of this video a link for a free guided meditation that I've just released. That's a daily practice that includes Pleiadian lightwork techniques for clearing your aura, for protecting your aura, for grounding. And this is going to be really, really helpful for anybody that really resonates with it and tunes into it consistently. I've connected with a lot of clients recently who've actually come to me, you know, with business stuff. That's the primary way I actually work with people one-on-one, is for their sacred businesses. And when I tune into them, there's been many people recently where their boundaries are low. They don't really have boundaries in their energy field. And this is because daily we're not actually doing these practices. Do I do these practices every single day without fail? No, I wish I did. You know, I would like to, but I do them a lot. I do them many, many, many times a week. And you can learn what some of those are, again, in that free guided meditation. There's things like raining golden light in our auras, bringing the violet flame around our energy body and through our body, and then surrounding our aura with golden light, a crest of golden light, anchoring a grounding cord into the core of Mother Earth, right? So these things are really, really helpful. So there you are. There's 4 reasons why you might not be getting direct downloads from your guides and angels consistently. Again, I do have a program that's open right now that's only going to be open for another 6 days called Meet Your Guides and Angels. We are going to go so deep in this program. We're going to sit in live ceremony once a week, and we're also going to do guided meditations that I'm going to give you as homework between sessions. And we're going to be connecting with your spirit team, your spirit guides and angels in really potent ways, so that during and especially, you know, after this journey, the level of connection with your own higher self and your spirit team, your guides and angels, is going to be so elevated from where you started, no matter where you're starting, whether it's, you know, this is quite new to you, or actually whether you've been working with your guides and angels for years now, but you do feel the call to go deeper. It actually doesn't matter, because I'll be, you know, channeling and working with all of our spirit guides and angels in this container, the ones who I have permission to work with anyway. And we're just going to activate the shit out of ourselves, and it's going to be awesome. Kim says, really good video. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. So I'll leave that with you to summarize. Again, number 1 reason why you might not be getting, you know, messages. I'm frustrated. I expect to get it in a certain way. It's not coming the way I want it. It's not coming when I want it. They must not be talking to me. Okay. There. 2, not asking enough. We want to ask, and we want to ask often, and asking out loud is amazing as well. 3, our food choices. We know that affects us. You know, we all know that. and for lack of boundaries, which we talked about an antidote for that in this video as well. So thank you so much. Many blessings. And for those of you who are going to be joining us and Meet Your Guides and Angels for 4 weeks, I'm so excited. I'm really looking forward to this, actually. So I'll leave that with you. Many blessings, and thanks for joining us for another installment of Mermaids and Sacred Business. And I should probably like make up a little jingle for it one day, because like that would be fun. Okay, bye, loves.